Moving on to our fifth and final way to well-being, and that's about giving back. This is one that I have no doubt the people who are participating in this webinar do on a regular basis. It's the nature of your role. It's the nature of your being a helper. But it's one of those things that sometimes we think of it as a job and forget that that's what we're doing, that we're giving back, that we're going that extra mile, that we're doing something that connects us with the world around us. And it's kind of, people often ask about why this is included as one of the 5 ways to well-being, because this seems like this would be good for other people's well-being. What is giving back doing for you? Well, I mean, there's the benefits around you feel good about yourself, certainly. And we know that that's especially true when you're giving of your time and energy, more so than just giving of money. But where it really becomes a protective a mental health factor is in, if you're spending your time and energy investing in a community, you're building relationships, and if you find yourself in a situation where you do need support, you are much more likely to seek out that help. So giving back is really not all that altruistic. It really ensures that down the road, help-seeking behaviors are things that you're going to feel comfortable engaging in, that you're going to know more connections, know more people, know what resources are out there, and folks who could maybe lend a hand. It also means that when you just need to turn to someone, you're going to feel comfortable doing that because you've got that relationship built out. And it doesn't always have to be these massive, undertakings to give back. The little things, like if you, and this is where we come back to doing them intentionally, the little things that you do every day, holding the door open for someone, smiling, heaven forbid, as you walk down a hall at another person, right? Maybe thanking someone who works in food services, the folks who are doing stuff for us all the time who maybe don't get that recognition. Those little things really contribute to your own sense of well-being. So collectively, we try to encourage you to do those activities. And that's it. Those are the 5. Those are the things that if we could get you to do them every day, you'd be doing things to foster your own well-being. I want to add another piece in there, only because I know a lot of you are looking at programs that you could maybe do with your community. And whenever you're seeing stuff like this, you're thinking, this is something I can do for myself, but it's also something I can share with others. One of the reasons why we've gravitated towards this program at UTM is because it's a way of talking about mental health that's inclusive, and that sidesteps a lot of the stigma that's associated with mental illness and mental distress. So this is a way of bringing everyone into the conversation, saying this isn't something that you need to do if you are diagnosed with a mental illness. This is something that everyone every day should be doing because it bolsters our resiliency. It makes us healthier as a community, helps us be happy, healthy, and well. And that's really the environment that we're trying to create for ourselves, but also for those around us. So I'll again point you towards the New Economics Foundation, Economics as if people and the planet mattered. If you Google 5 ways to well-being, that's the first thing that's going to come up. They have great resources. They have their evidence online. They have bookmarks and cards and things like that that you can use, you can print, and all they really ask is that you acknowledge where it's coming from, as I'm hopefully acknowledging now. Yeah. And that's where I wanted to leave off. I think we're going to switch and maybe open up some questions, hopefully for Devika, lots of them.
Stop.
Yeah. So I just thank you for spending some time and hopefully being a little engaged.
Yeah. And participating, let's hope. And for obviously helping us, well, not helping us, but putting up with our lack of technology use. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going to just unmute everyone. So if you're talking, we're going to be able to hear you. So get ready. Oh, I can hear someone's volume, and there it is. And I hear people with their Macs turning their volumes down. I should probably speak quieter because I'm too loud, and that's probably why. Unmute. Sorry, it's taking a long time to unmute everyone.
Bear with us.
Audio quality problems. Oh, well, that's fine. Oh my gosh, this is difficult. I wish there was one button too. Oh, all that means muted all. Wow, this is cool. I'm sorry, I can hear myself laughing at me. This is hilarious. So what we're going to do is, as we're unmuting everyone, we're going to kind of just take some questions and kind of try and see if we can have a little bit of a dialogue. Hopefully we don't have everyone speaking at once. Oh, we can't unmute the people from UTM. Well, that's too bad. Come inside. I don't think you work. So do we have any questions? Is there anyone that wants to ask anything?
I have a question.
Sure. Who's that?
It's Joe Saramemi from Nipissing.
Oh, hey, Joe.
Hey.
Joe from Nipissing.
Yeah. I have a colleague that I'm working with right now who dealt with a student who was suicidal over the weekend, and they are under the impression, well, they came to school Monday, like, upset, crying, like, everything that you guys were saying about, like, emotional and behavioral alerts for stress, and they're not really, they say counseling's not for them, and I'm trying to push her to go to counseling, just like one or two times, so she can deal with what happened on Sunday. And I just wondering, like, what are some proactive ways of suggesting maybe some, like, to convince her to go? I mean, she doesn't have to go, but do you know what I mean?
Are you talking about the student or the professional?
The professional.
So it's the student who's suicidal, or someone she knows that's suicidal?
No. It was a student staff member. So, like, I'm a community advisor. There's another community advisor. She dealt with the student on call, and, like, it was pretty serious. And now I think it's affecting her, and I don't know how to, like, try to help her.
Okay, I mean, for some people, seeking professional help or going to a professional counselor is not always what will work for them. So in those cases, then I would try to ask her about what other support systems she has in her life. So, for example, who else can she speak to? Is there a friend? Is there a community member? Is there a religious or spiritual person that she connects in terms of getting her to, to speak to someone else about the situation? Because I'm assuming you're concerned for her well-being and her safety.
Well, yeah, like, I used to think the same as her, like, counseling's not for me, like, I can just talk about it with whoever, but, like, after dealing with a very similar situation and going to counseling, it was really good. But she's the type of person who, like, bottles everything in and doesn't really, like, talk about the way she's feeling. Like, she always just puts on a facade. So it's kind of like, yeah. But it's good advice.
Right, and actually, if you don't mind me asking, what made you a convert, so to speak?
You guys are all set up?
Oh, yeah.
I can't help you with anything, or probably have to take care of one of you.
Hello?
Yeah, no, we're just gonna chill in here when it's time.
Hello? Can you hear
Is
me?
that Sterling?
Joseph?
We had our
I'm not
first.
quite sure. I think one of the sections is really interested in either Kara or Catherine.
What's happening? I'm muting Sterling because
Yeah,
I don't know
think
what
so.
he's
Sterling's
talking
doing
about.
well now.
Okay, go ahead, Joe. Sorry.
Well, someone had a question for me, but I don't know.
Yes, I did. I was, if you don't mind me asking, what made you a convert? So you said that you didn't, believe in counseling or didn't want to go to counseling, but then you changed because of an experience. What was it? What was helpful for you to make that transition?
Well, like, I've dealt with like, since I've been, like, a Don or in a community advisor, I've dealt with a couple students with depression and suicidal thoughts, and I've always recommended them to go to counseling and recommended all those resources that we have on our campus for them. But then it was up until this year where a student actually made an attempt, and I was told that I was going to be dealing with this student, and I saw how it affected the other staff members, so I really wanted to be proactive in my own, like, before getting involved with the situation, actually, like, debriefing with a counselor and, like, yeah.
Right.
So, like, I really just wanted to be proactive and didn't want to, like, have it affect me negatively. So I wanted to be proactive about that.
So maybe those are some of the things you could highlight also for the student.
Totally.
Your concerns for it impacting her also.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, Joseph. Any other questions for us?
Sorry, someone's typing in a question. Am I single? Yes, I am. No, I'm kidding. That was not a question.
I kind of wish it was.
I kind of wish it was too. Nope, sorry, there is not actually a text question coming in. I am misreading the screen.
Are there any other questions that anyone has, or any comments that anyone wants to share? Okay. No other questions are coming in. Okay.
Sarah?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
I wondered if UTM ever used 5 Ways to Wellbeing within their residential programming, within the community programming.
We have. We've been invited in a couple times to share 5 Ways to Wellbeing. In fact, we have one of the residents, Dons, who we did that program for. So maybe I could ask him to answer or speak to that. And you can tell me if it works or didn't. I won't be offended.
Okay, sure.
Sounds good.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm a Don here at UTM, and I have actually, through Dad, I have had the 5 Ways to Wellbeing presentation done at my community, and I found it had a really great impact because it was just a fun time. It was really good activities, and people really started to get engaged, and there's little competitions going on now, seeing who can locate the most spots on campus for the take notice part of it, things like that. It was a great way. We did the balloon animal activity as well. People loved that. It was just great, and I definitely think it was useful, and I would encourage it.
I know too, at UTM, part of our Dawn training, actually, we Chad also did the 5 Ways to Wellbeing, a similar presentation to the one that you just saw within our Dawn training, and I definitely think it was useful. Did you guys like it, I guess, during Dawn training? Yes. Okay. I'm hearing good feedback. Hopefully they have to say that because we're here. But also, not just Greg, but I know a lot of other students have definitely used the 5 Ways to Wellbeing, even as just passive programs or as bulletin boards within their community, especially during their requirements for their November and December programming, as we're seeing more and more students kind of get more stressed out and maybe not being maybe as active or connecting to their community or whatnot. Chris, one of our Dons, also has another comment related to this. Sorry, I feel like UTM's just hogging the phone here.
Okay, hi, I'm Chris. I'm also a Don here at UTM. This has nothing to do with something that I did, but it was just kind of interesting to see. There were a group of students that I saw specifically on my floor. I'm sure none of them are listening to this right now, but they're studying for exams and all those sorts of things. But they actually went door to door on my floor handing out candy, and it was just kind of like a little bit of a de-stressor sort of thing. And so it's kind of giving back to the community, and I just thought that was really important for our community, because I know a lot of my students, they're in very difficult programs, and so they've been studying really hard, and so just to get a little bit of love from the rest of their community. So I thought that was pretty nice.
Awesome.
The challenge we have often in facilitating programs around the 5 Ways to Wellbeing is that hurdle of how can something so simple actually help me? I'm super stressed right now, so I don't have time to come out and make balloon animals and do those types of activities that we know are really important to self-care. So one of the pieces of feedback that I offer folks who are looking to run this program is to run it earlier in the term. So help to establish those routines so people are practicing the 5 Ways to Wellbeing by the time they get into those high stress periods. And hopefully it's something about maintaining, and then the conversations, how are you maintaining that, as opposed to trying to introduce it for the first time.